Path of the Zealot. Okay, for barbarians who walk the path of the Zealot, the rage is not merely a connection to nature, it's a gift from God. Sorry. These barbarians often experience their rage as an ecstatic experience of union with their gods, infusing them with divine power to pursue the gods' purposes in the world. Okay. Let's have a look. Zealot. Oh, Zealot, I have to look at Xanathar's, which... Yep. Here we go. Got it. I should probably go and get Tasha's in a minute as well. Let's have a look at Barbarian and see what the difference is, shall we? Martial archetypes. Wait, that's fighter. How is this ordered? It is ordered. Oh, it just starts way earlier than I thought. Okay, it starts on page 8. Because character options are early on in this book. I have not opened Xanathar's in so long. It is honestly kind of insane. Ancestral Guardian, Storm Herald, Zealot. There we go. Okay. Divine Fury now also allows you to determine the damage type each time you deal the damage. Okay. Oh, right, yeah. So originally you had to pick when you got the feature whether or not you wanted to deal Radiant or Necrotic. Now you can pick. Sure. Warrior of the Gods now includes the ability to regain additional HP when healed by a spell or magic item. Okay. Oh, right, this is the subclass where you can't die. Right. Cella's Presence now allows you to use it multiple times. Right, everybody gets advantage on attack rolls and saving throw until the start of your next turn. Can't use it again until you finish a long rest. You can now expend uses of your rage, sure. And Rage Beyond Death now turns you into a warrior spirit. After you use Relentless Rage. Okay, I am very curious now. Divine Fury. So pretty much this should just be you, on each of your turns while your rage is active, first creature you hit with a weapon or unarmed strike, because I'm assuming that was not a thing. Yep, it used to be just a weapon attack. Although, wait. Was weapon there, because there was like a weird wording thing in the original 5th edition where like making a weapon attack also included an unarmed strike, and then an attack with a melee weapon was not an unarmed strike. I think that's what it was. Anyway, you can do it with an unarmed strike, which makes sense. First creature you hit with a weapon or an unarmed strike takes extra damage equal to 1d6 plus half your barbarian level rounded down. So 1 to start with. Extra damage is necrotic. And it's a first creature you hit. Frenzy was if you reckless attacked. Reckless technically you don't need to rage for, but it was a number of dice equal to your rage bonus. Here it's 1d6 plus half your barbarian level. I mean, you don't need to put yourself in harm's way if you don't want to with reckless. I still think Frenzy is better, right? Because for Frenzy you don't need to be raging, you just need to be reckless attacking, but like how often are you not doing a reckless attack as a barbarian? I mean, some people are probably going to argue against that it depends on the enemy and stuff, but I don't know. But I think the changing each time you deal the damage is actually a good change, because I wouldn't want to be stuck with the damage type at the start either. Like, clerics can change Spirit Guardians each time they cast it. Why shouldn't you be able to do this, right? Warrior of the Gods. Divine Entity helps ensure you can continue to fight. When a spell or magic item restores any of your hit points, you can roll a d12 and regain Additional hit points equal to the number rolled. D12 again. Uses benefit a number of times equal to your constitution modifier. Minimum of 1. Hey, something that's not tied to proficiency bonus. And you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rests. And if someone raises dead you don't need the material components. Yeah. I think, yeah, that's just the buff to Warrior of the Gods, right? I think honestly, like, I can see why they added the 1d12, because if you think about it, this is a feature that hopefully comes in handy once or twice in a campaign, and it saves you money. You know, which is like, eh. It very much depends on how easy resurrection items are to obtain, and especially if you're playing with something like Matthew Mercer's resurrection rules, it screws you a little bit, right? Because you get way less value out of this, and now it's a valuable feature because you can, at level 3, probably with point buy, have 16 con, so you can roll 3d12s of healing, which is 19.5 on average. I think that's okay. This seems better, honestly. This seems pretty decent. Fail a saving throw while your rage is active, re-roll it. Must use the new roll. Can activate this feature once per active rage. Sure. I think that was already a thing, right? So once per rage, you can re-roll your save. Once per rage? So then technically that kind of means like once per combat to an extent. I mean, that's fine. It's not great, it's not bad, but then again, level 6 abilities aren't necessarily that great on Barbarian. It seems to be kind of in line. Zealot's Presence is a bonus action, unleash a battle cry, right. How many do you use? You need to use 1 use of your rage to activate Zealot's Presence instead of... So pretty much you can replace your rage with Zealot's Presence once you've used it once. That's not bad. That's pretty good. That just makes rage like a resource to an extent. That's pretty decent. Rage Beyond Death. While your relentless rage successfully restores your hit points, you can assume the form of a spectral warrior. While in this form, you get the following benefits. You have a fly speed equal to your speed, you can hover, move through creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. You take force damage if you end your turn inside one. When you're hit by an attack roll, you can use your reaction to turn that hit into a miss. Wait, what? When you're hit by an attack roll, you can use your reaction to turn that hit into a miss. That's pretty decent. But to be fair, like at this point, Relentless Rage is the one where if you get dropped to 0 hit points, you get back up, right? What did this used to be? While you're raging, having 0 hit points doesn't knock you unconscious. You still make death saves, suffer the normal effects of taking damage. You would die. Yeah, okay. So it used to be you can't die. That's what this used to be. Like if you drop to 0, you keep fighting as long as you're raging, and if you... Which, to be fair, I guess with the original, like, infinite rage... Isn't that... Wait, how does that work with infinite rage? Because you're not incapacitated. How does this work with the level 15? Hold up. Does this work with the level 15? While you're raging, having 0 hit points doesn't knock you unconscious. You still must make death saving throws and you suffer the normal effects of taking damage. However, if you would die due to failing death saving throws, you don't die. Oh, wait, no, I get it. I get it. Because in the original, you still needed to make attacks or take damage in order to stick to your rage. Which meant that the moment combat was over, you technically didn't. You technically had to attack something every 6 seconds, or you'd drop dead because your rage would end. Because we're talking about the original persistent rage, but we're also talking about original rage, which makes sense. But now with persistent rage, I mean, it still works. It's just 10 minutes. I don't know why they changed this so heavily. Was it that unkillable? Like, I mean, I get it. You pretty much, if you put a healer behind that and they just attack one more time against a tree and then your healer, like, healing words you never need any healing because you never drop dead. You know? Your opponent can't take away action economy from the players by killing. But I guess it's a very powerful feature because it's literally you can't die. So it makes sense that they get rid of it. It's just this, yeah, this feels like a very powerful nerf, and again, we're at level 14, even 15 with relentless rage technically. No wait, but that was the point of 15. What am I talking about? How did relentless rage work? If rage is so fierce that it ends early if you fall unconscious, if you choose to end it. So how does persistent rage work with the original Zealot? Are you just immortal until you sleep? That seems like an oversight. Or is that just me? It seems like a really weird oversight in the original. But I guess... I mean, again, the problem here... Yeah, I mean, it's a cool feature. I'll give him that. It feels a little weak. If I'm being honest. Sure, you can make one attack roll become a miss, but like if your DM is like has like several pieces on the board and that's one attack, by this level a lot of creatures have multi-attack, so one attack misses, that's not that big of a deal. At this point, a lot of creatures also, like, we're getting to like scaling AC where you're getting a lot less value out of higher AC, or there's a lot less ways to get higher AC, I should say. So I think this becomes less and less valuable the higher level you become to an extent. And seeing as it goes away once you drop to 0 hit points again, and you can only use it once, this feels like a pretty weak feature to be like a level 14. Then again, we're comparing it to like, what are we comparing it to? Teleportation Circle. To be fair, Teleportation Circle is a free 5th level spell. As an action, not even as a 10-minute that requires 50 gold pieces, which... Yeah, like constantly putting people prone, flying speed. Honestly, it feels kind of eh. Yeah, it's barbarian. I mean, I'm sticking to the script, you guys. Like, I think that these are good changes. I really do. But, like... Is Wizards really gonna ask us 60 bucks for this? 60 bucks for a glorified balance patch. Because that's what this is, if you think about it. Oh well.